going back to you, Holly, you have a tweet of yours. I'm not going to pull it up. We're not pulling this one up, Nick.
Is it bad?
No. Well, I just saw one of your tweets. No.
Oh, okay.
You just said, advice to the men, strong feminine women will submit to you as their alpha if you prove to them that you can give them a better life than they can give themselves.
Yeah.
But it's actions, not words.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, I don't want to be told how alpha you are. If I can just feel your vibe, you don't need to say anything
That's
to
kind
me.
of lame.
I'll just know.
It's pretty lame if a guy calls himself alpha.
I mean, the guys that I'm going for aren't really running around calling themselves alpha.
I'm not saying
yeah,
It's like for the
you are
purpose of the show.
alpha. Because you just present yourself. You're respectful.
You can just
you're
feel
kind,
that it's
you're
like,
alpha.
granted, this, yeah, exactly. You can just feel the male energy. And so I truly believe that. And honestly, like, I've met a lot of guys like that. So I don't want to hear that it's like not real, because it's definitely real. That guys have strong enough male presence that you're just like, okay.
Yeah, that is very true. Being alpha is nothing that you, as you said, it's not something you wear on your t-shirt and be like, I'm alpha. It's
Top
something
G.
that a woman senses in you, and she chooses to submit to that, to you as her man.
Sure. Okay. I mean, I had some notes on that. So,
What's your take?
On what?
on
what?
notes.
On your tweet? Well, I wonder though, like, so you're engaged in sex work. Do you think that has been a challenge for you to finding these types of strong, good men that you would be prepared to submit to? Maybe you have, I don't know.
No, and oddly, this has been something that's kind of been something actually that, like, you hear guys say, but I didn't really think it was true, but it's true. There is this like brand of guy out there that is probably, he's not going to be faithful to you, right? Like, he's not going to be faithful to you. He's probably high performing in every area of his life. He's probably doing everything to the most, right? And with that comes some things, but he might also be he might be high performing as being a provider. He might be high performing as being a father, right? He might be high performing in all of these other things that it's kind of like, hey, if I'm going to be with somebody for the rest of my life, like, yeah, I do want him to be a provider. I do want him to be a father. I don't necessarily like the person who I would have kids with, like, if we broke up, that's kind of the requirement. Like, if we broke up, I would still want you to be my kid's dad. You know what I mean? So I'm looking for the guy where it's like, regardless of like what happens with us, like you'll have good genetics, right? And you're gonna give me a great little leader baby one day. Okay. You know what I mean? Who's gonna take over the world. And then B, you're gonna show up for the kid. And you might go out and do stuff, right? But like, my main concerns are that I don't have to be the one being like, oh shit, back to the salt mines, right? Like, back to OnlyFans now that I've had a kid, right? Like, I better go like figure it out. Like, no, we are not. If I ever get pregnant, I will know for a fact that I will not have to work, and we'll have it terms. Like,
wait, so when you get pregnant, you don't want, did you have, sorry.
No, it was me. About the kid thing and alpha.
Okay.
But I'll let her.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just my personal opinion, because.
So when you have kids, you want to stop working, or?
I don't want the pressure to. I probably will never stop working because I get bored.
Okay.
But I like to do things, and I like to see my ideas manifest themselves. But I don't want this pressure of kind of like, okay, I have to figure out how to pay rent now while I'm also like dealing with this like maybe like child, right? That's like, you have to take care of. Like, that's a lot of pressure, and I know women do it. I don't want to be one of those women.
You said you're currently dating 3 high-value men, correct?
In my opinion.
But do you want commitment?
One of them, no.
No.
One of them, it's still super new, but I'm kind of like, okay, you at least like check out, and I like the things that I'm looking for about you, but it's still super new to say whether or not, you know what I mean? These are like 6 months long distance. Like, that's not very of seeing each other maybe like 3 times in between and talk, you know, it's like, I'm still kind of figuring it out.
Yeah. And just to go back to your tweet, you said, advice to the men, strong feminine women will submit to you as their alpha if you prove to them that you can give them a better life than they can give themselves, but it's actions, not words. So I guess my question is, and I don't know if you're speaking more in general terms, or is this almost from the lens of, since you're involved in sex work, I mean,
actually, it's generally. So my mom and dad have been married for like 50 years.
Are they still married?
Yeah, they're still married. They've been married for 50 years. They're amazing, right? They're really normal people. My brother's really normal people. I'm the black sheep, and I know it. And that's kind of why I own it, because everybody's like, she's one of us, right? And so, but my dad is that alpha man to my mom. My mom has not worked this entire time, and I know it's a different generation and they're boomers and their financial situation was different, but that is my modeling, and I'm okay having to give that to myself. I'm okay having to give myself the things that my dad gives my mom, but I am looking for a guy to give that to me, and in return, I will build the amazing fucking home that my mom built.
Sure. I have a question on that.
Yeah.
Did you have something?
Touch on the kid thing.
Yeah.
I had actually a prominent guy, a friend of mine. We were discussing stuff, and we were discussing a mutual gym friend that would make half of the girls at the gym pregnant the whole time. He would just be like YOLO. And finishing in them without condoms.
Based.
Yeah. And I was like, this is very odd to me because that's disrespectful.
Wait, did he actually? Wait, hold on.
Yeah, he literally said, "Fuck it, YOLO."
He actually got them pregnant.
Yeah, and then had them to do abortions.
Just to be clear, I don't think that's high value behavior.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's not. It's not my friend we're talking about. It's a mutual
Walmart
friend of ours.
behavior.
Yeah, that's Walmart behavior.
We were talking about him, and I was like, this is not okay because this is not good. He's like, well, if you think about it that way, if you see somebody that is a high value woman, which you can see that she will give you good offspring, and he sees himself as a high value man that can produce good offspring, why not? And I'm like, do I have to draw you a picture? Why not? It's like you can't just run around impregnating people as you feel like it.
And the other thing too, unless if you're Elon Musk or a guy that is rich enough to actually need an heir, you don't need to do this, right? So it's I know for a fact that it's weird. I have this weird, maybe I have the same weird sick fantasy that they do, right? Where I'm like, yeah, we'll build this little army empire that will save the world one day.
Yeah.
I don't know, or there'll be a superhero or something. I will use my mom powers, right, to make sure that this kid is something amazing and saves the world. So it's kind of I don't want to have kids and settle if it's not
I understand where he comes from though, about that couple being, good for each other and producing nice children, but you can't impregnate every woman you see.
Not every woman is the right person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the act of having a kid is easy, but the act of raising a kid is extremely difficult. Yeah. So if you ask a man to be high value, to invest in you, and
Butler donated $100. Dustin Hoffman and Cuba Gooding Jr. are on their way. They'll be in hazmat suits and looking to take blood samples so a herpes antidote can be created.
Yay!
Please
Jay Butler, you should just write shows
humanity.
Instead of doing all this.
Thank you.
I'm really
Thank
excited
you,
for that
Butler.
antidote for the porn community.
I mean, at least he's paying, right?
Yeah.
Bring him in.
He's got some good storylines. I think he's going somewhere with this.
Tell him to contact talent testing service.
He's a screenwriter, I think, also on the side, in addition to
side
being
gig.
Beautiful for him.
Yeah.